Have you ever started over?
More times than I expected to.
Me too. And every time it felt different from how I imagined it would feel when I was still in the middle of the thing I was leaving.
It always does. The idea of starting over sounds clean, fresh, like a blank page. But the actual experience of it, the first days, the first weeks, feels much more like standing in an empty room wondering where to put the furniture.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Welcome to Speak First English, where we speak first and think second.
And today, we're talking about starting over. Not the Instagram version, the caption that says, "New chapter" with a sunrise photo. The real version. The one with the uncertainty and the awkward silences and the moments when you think, what exactly am I doing?
And we're giving you the language for it, because starting over happens in language too. When you're learning English, you are starting over, in a sense. Every time you try something new, every time you push past a level, every time you speak when you'd rather stay silent, that's a small start over.
Starting over is not a single dramatic moment. It's a direction. And today, we teach you how to talk about that direction in English.
Today's topic, talk about starting over in English.
And we want to frame this clearly. Starting over can look like 1,000 different things. A new job, a new city, ending a relationship and rebuilding a life, going back to studying after years away, starting to exercise after a long break, or beginning to learn English seriously after years of "I'll do it someday."
All of these are starting over, and they all share the same emotional landscape, the mix of possibility and fear, of freedom and loss, of not quite knowing who you are in the new context yet.
And in English, this topic comes up constantly. In casual conversations, in job interviews, in new friendships, in moments where someone asks, "So what's your story?" And what they're really asking is, "Where are you coming from and where are you going?"
Today, we give you the language to answer that honestly, not with the polished version, with the real one.
Before we start, please share this episode. Share it with someone who is in the middle of a start over right now, someone who left something behind and hasn't yet fully arrived at what's next. They need these words, and they need to know they're not alone in the uncertainty.
Let's go.
Jake, what does starting over actually mean? Because I think the phrase sounds simpler than the experience.
Much simpler. Starting over implies you go back to zero, clean slate, nothing carries forward. But that's almost never true.
Because you always bring yourself.
Exactly. You bring everything you've learned, everything you've survived, every mistake that changed how you see things. You can start over in terms of your situation, new job, new city, new language, but you don't start over in terms of who you are.
You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience.
And that's a completely different thing. Starting from scratch implies you have nothing. Starting from experience implies you have everything that matters, and you're just applying it somewhere new.
Think of it like transplanting a tree. The tree isn't starting from a seed. The root system exists. All those years of growth, all that depth. But the tree is moving. And for a time, while the roots find new ground, everything above looks a little uncertain. The branches haven't settled. The leaves might go limp. It looks fragile.
But the roots are already there.
The roots are there, and a transplanted tree, once it settles, often grows more strongly in the new soil than it did in the old, because it had to work harder, because it developed new depth to survive the move.
So starting over is not weakness, it's not going backward, it's a transplant, and transplants, given time, grow.
That's the frame for today. You're not starting from zero, you're transplanting, and everything worth keeping comes with you. Anna, I want to hear your start over story, a real one.
Okay, real. My biggest start over was about 4 years ago. I had been in a job for 3 years, a stable, well-paying, genuinely fine job, and I was miserable. Not dramatically, just quietly, consistently, daily miserable. The kind of miserable where Sunday evenings feel like grief.
Sunday evening grief, that specific feeling.
So specific. And I had built a whole identity around this career path. My parents were proud, my CV looked good, everyone thought I was doing well, And I was, by every measure, except how I actually felt inside.
So you left.
I left. And for the first 3 months, honestly, I was terrified. Not of the decision, of the in-between, that specific limbo when you've left one thing but haven't yet become the next thing.
The gap, the empty room.
The empty room, yes. And the hardest part was not knowing what to say when people asked, "So what do you do now?" Because the honest answer was, "I don't know yet. I'm figuring it out." And that felt, in English especially, so much harder to say than a job title.
Because English expects a clean answer to that question.
It does. What do you do is one of the most common conversation questions in English, and when you're in the middle of a start over, the answer is messy. It's a, "I'm transitioning." It's a, "I'm exploring different directions." I'd rather move slowly and be right than rush and be wrong.
And today, we give you the exact English for that, for the messy middle, for all the start-over conversations that don't have a clean ending yet.
Let's get into the tips. Tip 1, and this is for the moment when you have to explain that you left something, a job, a place, a relationship, a phase of your life. Tip 1, learn the language of leaving.
Because leaving something is one of the hardest things to talk about in English, especially when you left by choice. There's often a need to justify it, to explain it, to make it sound okay.
But the best language for leaving is honest, dignified, and forward-facing. It doesn't apologize for the leaving. It doesn't over-explain. It says, "I made a decision, here's what I moved toward, and I'm okay."
Let's go through the most useful phrases for talking about leaving.
I decided it was time for a change. Clean, personal, intentional. Doesn't require further explanation.
I realized I had outgrown that chapter. Mature shows growth. The word outgrown is powerful. It frames leaving as natural development, not failure.
I needed to go in a different direction. Calm, no drama, forward-looking.
It was a good experience, but not the right long-term fit. Diplomatic leaves no bad feeling toward the thing you left. Professional.
I reached a point where staying was costing me more than leaving. Honest, considered. This phrase shows reflection without self-pity.
It was one of the hardest decisions I've made, and also one of the most necessary. Vulnerable and honest, both things true at once.
And for the simpler conversations, I left to focus on something new. I decided to change direction. I chose to close that chapter.
All of these say I moved, by choice, forward, the language of leaving, with dignity and without drama. Tip number 2. And this is the most practically useful tip for anyone in the middle of a start over right now. Tip 2, learn to talk about the in-between.
Because the in-between is real, and it's often longer than people expect. And it's the hardest time to talk about because nothing is settled, nothing is complete, and the questions people ask seem to expect answers you don't have yet.
So what are you doing now? What's next for you? Have you figured out what you want? All perfectly reasonable questions that land like accusations when you're in the in-between.
So here's the language for honest, dignified, non-defensive in-between answers.
I'm in a transitional period right now, figuring out what the next chapter looks like. Calm and clear. Transitional period normalizes the in-between. It gives it a name.
I'm exploring different directions. I'd rather move slowly and be right than rush and be wrong.
That last one is so important, moving in the right direction even if I can't name it yet. This is the most honest thing you can say about a start over, and it invites curiosity rather than pity.
I'm in what I like to call the building phase, laying foundations even when nothing is visible from the outside yet. This frames the in-between as active and intentional. You're not lost, you're building.
And for when you just need simplicity, I'm figuring it out. It's a process. I'm on my way, just not there yet. The in-between is not a failure state, it's a working state, and the language above lets you claim it, not apologize for it.
Tip number 3, and this one is for the conversations that go a little deeper, when someone asks what the start over actually changed in you, not just what happened, but who you became in the process. Tip 3, learn to describe what changed.
Because starting over changes people, always, sometimes in ways you expected, often in ways you didn't.
And being able to describe that change in English is one of the most powerful and connecting things you can do in conversation. It's the difference between telling someone what happened and telling someone who you are now.
Here are the phrases for describing inner change.
It made me realize what actually matters to me. Simple and powerful, shows reflection, invites the other person to think about what matters to them.
I came out of it with a much clearer sense of who I am. Growth framing, starting over clarified rather than confused.
I surprised myself. I discovered things about my own resilience I didn't know were there. Honest and quietly confident, not boasting, just true.
I'm different on the other side of it. Not better or worse, just more myself. Nuanced, doesn't claim transformation you haven't had, just more yourself.
It was uncomfortable while I was in it, but I wouldn't undo it. Two truths at once, honest about the difficulty, clear about the value.
I think starting over forced me to drop things I'd been carrying that didn't actually belong to me. Deep and specific, the unnecessary things you leave behind in a start over.
And one for the ongoing change. I'm still integrating the experience. I don't think I fully know yet what it changed, but I can feel that something important shifted.
You don't have to have the whole story to tell part of it. The in-progress answer is still an honest answer, and honest answers connect better than polished ones. Tip number 4, and this one shifts the direction from your start over to theirs, because one of the richest conversations you can have in English is asking someone about a time they started over. Tip 4, ask others about their start overs.
Because almost everyone has one, a version of it, and almost nobody gets asked about it in a way that feels safe to answer honestly.
The standard questions, what do you do, where are you from, don't touch the start over. They assume stability. They ask about the settled version.
But the start over questions ask about the journey, and the journey is where the real person is.
Here are the questions that open that conversation.
Have you ever had to start something over completely? What was that like? Open, non-intrusive. The what was that like gives them room to go as deep or as shallow as they choose.
Is there a version of your life you left behind that you're glad you left? Beautiful question. Invites reflection without demanding vulnerability.
What's the hardest thing you've ever chosen to change? Specific, assumes they have one. Almost everyone does.
Have you ever been in that in-between place where you'd left something but hadn't fully arrived at what's next? How did you get through it?
That question, asked with genuine curiosity, can open a conversation that lasts for hours, because everyone has been in the in-between, and nobody ever asks about it this specifically.
And when they answer, the boomerang share. You share yours, briefly, honestly, equally, and suddenly you're in a real conversation about something that actually matters.
Ask about their start over. It's the question that skips past surface and goes straight to person. And our final tip, tip 5, and this one is about the language of what comes after the leaving, the language of arriving, building, and becoming. Tip 5, build your new beginning vocabulary.
Because starting over is not just about the past, it's about the present and the future, and the language of new beginnings is specific and energizing.
Let's go through the most powerful phrases.
I'm building something new. Active, present tense. You're not waiting, you're building.
I'm in the process of reinventing myself. Big and honest. Reinventing is a word that respects the scope of what you're doing.
I'm at the beginning of something I can't fully see yet, and I'm okay with that. Rare and powerful, accepting uncertainty without being defined by it.
This is the version of me I've been working toward for a long time. Claim your new identity. Own the direction, even when you can't see the destination yet.
I'm learning who I am in this new context. Learning framing allows for imperfection, invites growth.
Every day it feels a little more like mine. Intimate and specific, the new life being claimed gradually.
I didn't know how much I was capable of until I had to start over. Resilience framing. The start over revealed something, not despite the difficulty, because of it.
And for when you need simplicity, I'm starting fresh. I'm building, I'm figuring it out, and I'm excited about it. This is a new chapter.
New chapter. A phrase every English speaker understands immediately, and it frames what you're living as a story, with more pages to come.
New beginning vocabulary. Claim the new, name the build, own the direction, even when you can't see the destination yet.
Anna, today's words are about change, movement, and the journey of becoming. Let's look at them.
Yes, our word tour. These words will help you talk about starting over, your own startovers and other people's, in natural, real English conversations.
First word, transition.
A transition is a process of moving from one state or situation to another. I'm in a career transition right now. Or, transitions are uncomfortable, but they're also where the most important growth happens.
Next, reinvent or reinvention.
To reinvent yourself means to change your life, career, or identity significantly, to create a new version of yourself. She reinvented her career completely after 40. Or, reinvention takes courage and usually longer than you expect.
Then, pivot.
To pivot means to change direction, especially in career or strategy. Originally a business word, now used widely in personal contexts. I decided to pivot away from corporate work toward something more creative. Or sometimes the best thing you can do is pivot before you're too deep in the wrong direction.
We also said chapter.
A chapter is a distinct period or phase of a person's life, like a chapter in a book. That was an important chapter, but it's closed now. Or, I'm excited about this new chapter, even if it's still being written.
And resilience.
We've said this before, but in the context of starting over, it means something specific. The ability to rebuild after something ends. Starting over required a kind of resilience I didn't know I had. Or, resilience is not about bouncing back to who you were. It's about growing into who you needed to become.
And one more, clarity.
Clarity is the quality of being clear, especially about what you want, who you are, and what direction you're going. The start over gave me a clarity I never had when I was just going through the motions. Or sometimes you have to leave what's familiar to find clarity about what's real.
Your speaking gym challenge today is describe your own start over in one sentence. Any start over, big or small. In English, out loud or in writing. Use one of today's phrases. That's your rep.
Before we finish, 4 things for when you need to talk about starting over.
Step 1. Choose your language of leaving phrase. If you've left something recently, or ever, pick the one phrase that fits your truth. Practice saying it out loud. Own it. I outgrew it. Say it like you mean it.
Step 2. Prepare your in-between answer. If you're in the middle of a start over right now, write one honest sentence about where you are. I'm in a transitional period, building something I can't fully name yet. That's an answer. Use it.
Step 3. Identify what changed in you. One thing, one specific thing you discovered about yourself through a start over. Name it. Say it in English. That sentence is your story.
And step 4, ask someone this week. Have you ever had to start something over completely? What was that like? Ask one person and then really listen to the answer.
Quick recap of our 5 tips.
Tip 1, the language of leaving. Dignified, forward-looking, honest. I outgrew it. I chose a different direction. No apology, no drama.
Tip 2, talking about the in-between. I'm in a transitional period. I'm building even when nothing is visible yet. The in-between is a working state, not a failure state.
Tip 3, describe what changed. Who did you become? I discovered things about my resilience. I came out more myself. Real answers about real growth.
Tip 4, ask others about their startovers. The question that skips surface and goes straight to person.
And tip 5, new beginning vocabulary. I'm building. I'm reinventing. Every day it feels more like mine. Own the new.
Our question for today.
What is one start over you have made or are making right now that you are proud of, even if it's incomplete, even if it's uncertain, even if only you know it counts?
Write it in the comments, in English, one sentence, because saying it, even here, makes it more real. And real things have momentum.
You are not starting from zero. You are starting from everything you've already survived.
And that is a remarkable place to start from.
This was Speak First English.
Until next time, speak first, think second. And if you're in a start over right now, keep going. The roots are finding the ground. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.